That's the difference between a rebrand that actually makes a significant change in the trajectory of your business and a rebrand that actually is just a prettying up of a website. All right, everybody, we're here with Valeri Hall Little, the founder of Built to SOAR, and we're going to talk about her substantial branding story. So we're going to start. Valeri, can you tell us a little bit about your business and who it is that you serve and really
Yeah,
what you do for them?
yeah. Well, I'm happy to be here. Um, my business, as you said, is Built to Soar, and I am a leadership coach for agency owners who are typically very overwhelmed by doing it all in their business.
So it's 2025 right now. We
Yeah.
initially started working together in 2021. So it's been a
Wow.
bit of a journey.
Yes.
Let's go back to when we first met, when we worked together on your brand strategy. And can you share with me what is it you were trying to accomplish with your business and what had you already tried?
Mm. Yeah. So I remember the moment that I found you. It was like a huge sigh of relief because I had been spinning my wheels for years trying to figure out what I did, how I could communicate that with my audiences, and who I really wanted to work with, what problem I wanted to solve. I was just in this spin, and I worked with coaches before and like a business coach, and what what wasn't pinpointed was my marketing message ever. And so that made it really hard for me to communicate what it was I actually did to attract the exact person I wanted to, and or business that I wanted to attract. And that always just seemed to be a really big gap for me. I'm big on words and what they mean. And I was caught in this spin. And when I found you, it was just like a breath of fresh air. I felt so supported. I felt like finally somebody's going to help me figure out what the heck I'm doing.
Did you have any specific business goals? What was on the other side of finally nailing your marketing message that you would hope it would create for you in your life?
Peace of mind, because being in that spin is highly uncomfortable. I did have clients, I had a successful business, but it didn't, on the outside, it probably looked totally fine, but on the inside, it felt really, really messy. I didn't know what I should be writing about in my blogs. I didn't know what I should be speaking about. So I was really looking for some clarity and peace so that I could just anchor in on what it was that I loved to do and what it was that I would be communicating, making it a simple process. So I wasn't just grasping at straws on, oh, what should I be talking about in my video? What should I be writing about in my blog? What networking group should I go to? Who should I be seeking out? You know, there's a lot of wasted time
Mhm.
for me in that whole process. So that was on the other side, that it would be very clear and I would know exactly what to do next.
I love that you point that out because one of the things that I often say is that your brand is a decision-making tool. And so I think a lot of people obviously they look at brand, they think it's surface level, they think it's something that happens after. But what you just said was that when your brand was landed, all of these other things would work themselves out. You'd know even right down to what networking events you should be going to.
Totally.
And
Yeah.
it's that level of clarity that happens across your whole business that like a strong brand foundation can bring. So I love that you brought that up. First thing we did is landing your core messaging and your positioning, that brand strategy piece. What do you remember about that time? Was there an aha or a turning point for you as we were trying to work out what it is you wanted to become known for?
There were many of those. I remember that you just have a really powerful way of drawing things out. You don't have a predisposed idea of what it should be. You, you always said, well, I think you do know. And I'd say, I don't know. And you'd say, I think you do know. maybe, but you just have this really magical way of drawing that information out. So that really stood out for me. You could really pinpoint, if I was hesitating, or you knew that I was avoiding it, or I was afraid, or I was trying to distract you from really like knowing, if that makes sense. I didn't know I was doing it, but I was. The other really important step that you did was we reached out to my past and current clients and got a real good sense of what it was that they were looking for, what their pain points were. That was really important in hearing from them, because I had been spinning around in my head for so long, thinking, oh, they want this, or pretzeling myself, oh, I should do this because I think they want it, and but hearing from them in that questionnaire we sent out, that was really powerful to hear how they were phrasing it and how
Mhm.
they saw me, because I see myself in one light, but they saw me in all these different lights, which was really inspiring.
One of the challenges that you were facing was that you had felt pigeonholed as
I
being
did.
in the realm of systems and operations because you had a really strong background in all of that. When I think back, what I remember really seeing was like two Valeries. That you, because you had at the time, you had your Friday power hour. And I remember going to it so that I could kind of take in the room. And it had this total coach vibe where you were all about focus and direction, and you were helping people bring out the leader within them. And then we would look at how you were currently working with your clients, and it was all consultant Valerie with the systems and the operations. Seeing the kind of split down the middle that you were navigating, I remember a moment where I asked you a really important question. Do you remember what it was?
Yes. Yes. You asked me, do you want to lead with being a consultant, or do you want to lead with being a coach? And that was a really hard question for me to answer. It was like there was this line in the sand that you were asking me to step over. And being a consultant was very comfortable for me. That was totally my comfort zone. Telling people what to do and all the rest, or guiding them on what to do. But there was this part of me that wanted to not lead with that anymore. And that was really a hard fact to admit to myself. And it was also hard to step over the line because it was unknown. And I had all of these, mindset issues on becoming a coach. The fact that, oh, okay, here we go, here's another coach just in the world. What does that mean? I had my certification and everything. Like, I was certified coach by then, but I still hadn't embraced it fully. And I did answer. I said, I want to lead with coach. And even when I said it, was like, no, I want to be a consultant still. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, but which I still do some consulting in my coaching work,
Exactly.
but in a very, very different way.
So this is a question that I use often in helping clients position themselves because we always have different parts of ourselves, different past experiences, past careers, and it's about putting one of those in the forefront and then letting the others be the advantage you bring. So you're now a coach, but you bring the advantage of having a background as a consultant and the ability to step into the consultant role, which sets you apart from
Mhm.
other coaches. And so either way, you would have got to keep all of you, but you made the bold choice to lead with coach because it was so much more aligned with your zone of genius and where you wanted and the difference you wanted to be making.
Yeah, absolutely. And you gave examples, and you used yourself as an example as well, that made it feel it was okay. And it doesn't mean I had to forget about all the system stuff, because I'm very systematic and I love doing that. And I felt it was very black and white thinking. It was like, well, if you're a coach, you have to forget all about all of that and leave that all behind. And you positioned it to me in a way that no, it's actually part of your superpower, that you can bring into the blend and into the message. And that made it feel so much more powerful moving forward and weaving that into the brand.
Yeah, I'm so like impressed and proud that you did the hard thing because that's the difference between a rebrand that actually makes a significant change in the trajectory of your business and a rebrand that actually is just a prettying up of a website is those bold positioning decisions essentially of
Oh,
saying
yeah.
I'm now putting this stake in the ground.
When I was a consultant, I could guide and do all of these things with my clients. But what I was finding was that they would then just go back to the old ways. I realized that the missing piece was their mindset. And until we had locked that in, they would continue just doing the patterns because it felt safe to them. That's where the coaching lens comes in and is so powerful because it allows them the traction that they need and the confidence and the courage to move forward. Blending them together just makes such a huge difference in the results that my clients achieve.
What you've chosen as the solution that you sell, the story that you have to tell underneath it is actually what makes all the difference. So people don't just say yes or no, I want coaching. But when you say, if you want real change, the answer is coaching because all of the systems in the world are not enough to create sustainable change, that you won't just kind of keep falling back into your old patterns. They get it. In a brand, the thought leadership is a key piece. You had been known as the ops person, so there was also a fear. Would people come? Would they still come if what I was offering was coaching? But we faced it head on by saying it's not an ops problem, it's a focus problem. Or it's a leadership problem, which I think it's evolved to more now. That's just a prime example of like, yeah, once you've put your stake in the ground, then you have the story to back it up, to say, and here's why I've decided to lead with coaching.
And then there was another iteration. I really wanted to niche who I was serving so that I could get even clearer on the message. And I realized through a conversation with you is, well, who do you love working with? And it was really, I love working with businesses, with teams, because delegation is such a key component of the solution that I help my clients achieve, to delegate some of the grind work away, but they need somebody to give it to. And if they're solos, they have no one to give it to. So we talked about it and was like, well, my favorite clients, they all tended to be agencies. And I had an agency experience and ran my own little agency. And then it was like, well, it's right in front of me. And that's the thing, right? Answers are so in front of me and you just pull them out. So we niched it even further. And I'm so excited by it now. Like I read through my website at least once a week. And when I do, I just feel really connected to the brand. And that's what I think is so important for me, is to always be connected to my brand. Like I'll read it and go, yes. I'll feel
Love it.
I'll feel so excited. I still feel excited. There's no more spin outs. There's no more going rogue because I'm so anchored and so in love with my brand that it feels exciting.
What changed once you got that level of specificity around targeting only agencies?
Everything changed. There was way less wasted time. I know who to talk to. I know where to put myself. I know the kind of events and who to be inviting into those events. And I can get really clear on what their pain points are and what do they need most right now. That's huge because, way back, I was talking to everyone, so I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what their main pain points are, but now I'm very, very clear. And they also see me as the, I hate using the word expert, but the one who works with agency owners.
I love that you brought up the fact that niching helps you serve your clients better. Because you're niched down to agencies, you're not wasting your time learning all of the models and frameworks for every kind of business. You know what works for agencies, and you can also stay current to what matters to agencies right now. We revisited your offers and hyper simplified. And also, how have your offers changed as a result of getting clearer and clearer and truly owning this brand that you've built for yourself?
So I was just getting lost in all the offers. So we simplified it. So I have one offer now, and which is great. I love it because it's what I truly want to do. Again, it just makes it so clear and easy. There's just so much noise everywhere. People just don't have time. They want a specific thing. So my offer addresses it. It also addresses what most of the agencies wanted anyways. They're not looking to join a group program, right? And so I let go of the group, which was really hard to do because I love running group programs, and every business coach is going to say, if you want to scale, you have to run a group program, on, which is fine. But just for me, at this point in the evolution, even of my coaching and my career, I was like, you know what? I really want to do one-to-one coaching, private coaching, because that's what they're wanting. And that's what I'm wanting. Even on the back end, having the one program makes it easy in terms of, what's the revenue and how many of the private coaching clients can you have? And it just simplifies and the profitability rises.
And the website piece, what made you decide that it was finally time to completely revamp?
I wanted to do it right away. So way back into phase one, because when I was doing agencies, I was doing websites and web consulting and all of that kind of stuff. And I saw your website and I saw your client's websites, and I was like, I want a beautiful website too. And I remember you said specifically, just wait a few months to just settle into the brand, and just let's not rush into it. And I just wanted to. I was like, no, I want to, but no, okay. So I stepped back, and I'm so glad I did, because this also confirms your point that you just said. It's way, way more than a shiny new website and a new logo. That is the last thing you do, right? Having gone through it. My website launched 6 or 7 months ago. I'm so excited by it. I refreshed my logo. It was really interesting because I was going to move all the content. It's like when you buy a new house, right? You buy the new house, and I'm just going to use all the furniture from my old house because it was totally fine. And I was about to, and I was like, yeah, no. No. There's still some tweaking, not a huge amount, but there was some finessing we had to do. And so you came back and finessed it, and I'm just so happy with it. Like, now I've got the website, I've got the content, I've got the offer, I've got the focus, I've got the messaging, I've got the brand that I've always dreamed that I would have.
And the reputation too, because you're becoming known for these things. I'm curious, what kind of feedback have you had?
This is part of the sales process too, right? Is that it's not just about what you're saying on social. They're going to do their due diligence, and they're going to see, what does your website say? And is it aligned with what you're saying and how you're presenting yourself? And it totally is. I'm holding agency roundtables, and I'm having people come and visit the site and then come to these events. So it's really, again, anchoring. It's like, oh, right, okay, she's an agency, a coach for agency owners. Somebody refers somebody, and it was like, yeah, oh yeah, so-and-so tells me you're an agency coach, right? And so it's really starting to anchor in, and that feels really exciting. That feels really good.
A lot of people go directly to designers or directly to copywriters when the time comes in their business that they want to level up. From your perspective, what is the difference between going directly to design or copy or working with somebody like me?
It's night and day. Having worked sort of agency side in the web, and we did logos when we were refreshing the website and everything, it's very surface. It's all very surface. If I had done that, I would have had a pretty thing, but I'd still be spinning, because I wouldn't be clear on what I was doing, there'd be no clarity, there'd be no focus. It would be like, oh, I've got this nice website. Who cares? Right? Because it's not, the messaging isn't there. And that's the important part. You are more than a content creator, you are a brand and business strategist. You pull things out that I didn't even know was there, or I didn't even know was holding myself back. Or, if I went just to the website, nobody would have talked to my clients and said, what do you see with Valeri? What's been your experience? All of that, none of that matters. It's all the decoration. It's all the nice stuff, which is important, but it has its time and place.
Yeah, the decisions that happen before the content make all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And you made some
All
very
the
bold
difference.
ones, which has paid
Mm-hmm.
off.
I say, if you want to stop spinning and wasting your precious time and energy, and if you want to just cut through all the noise and get straight to the heart, then you have to work with Realize Your Brander, Lisa. Like, I mean, it's magic what happens. That's all I can, it just feels like magic. I never expected to have the brand that I did. You pulled it out and you showed it to me, honestly. If you're not sure about your offer, you're not sure about the messaging, you're not sure who you want to be, a hero to, then absolutely this is the important work that not many people do. They just jump to the end, and you can tell the ones that actually do. They
Mm.
stand out.
Where can all of these amazing agency owners who need some help actually being able to step away from their business and have vacation, where can they find you?
They can find me at builttosoar.com and on LinkedIn.
Valeri Hall Little.
Yeah.
All right, Valeri, thank you so, so much for sharing your story and your brand evolution, and a reminder to everybody that it is an evolution and happens one step at a time, brave steps every single time, and that your story is not even close to done. So we're excited to see where you go next.
Thank you.